Dear viewers, welcome. The fourth session of Romantic Literature. Today, we'll discuss who are the Romantics. Sometimes we mention that, oh boy, you are so much romantic today. Actually, whether they should be the romantic cult or not. And who started romantic literature in the world literature, we'll discuss it today, as we have discussed some features of special or the salient features of romantic literature in the session second and third, or the second and third session. Some authors have been regarded as pre-romantic, which we have mentioned in the session 3. As we know, romantic literature started, the age is counted after the publication of Lyrical Ballad by Wordsworth and Coleridge in 1798. But it started at least 40 years back of 1798. William Blake, he was born in 1757 and died 1827. He is considered as a pre-romantic, a visionary poet who was also an artist and engraver with a particular interest in childhood and a strong hatred of mechanical reason and industrialization. So you have seen that in Queen Elizabeth's period is considered as the age of industrialization or industrial revolution and mechanical reason. But William Blake hated this. He wanted to change the trend. That's why he is also considered as a pre-romantic poet. Robert Burns, he was born 1759 and died 1796, who worked as a plowman and farm laborer, but who had received a good education and was interested in early Scots ballads and folk song. Another, Walter Scott, born in 1771, died 1832. You know that 1830 was a remarkable age, as it was the last year of romantic movement or the romantic age. Another is Scott, who developed his interest in old tales of the border and early European poetry into a career as poet and novelist. Now, we'll discuss or see who are the first generation of romantics. The first generation of romantics, William Wordsworth, who was born in 1770, just 6 years before the United States of America's independence, and died 1850. More interesting, before his death, the romantic movement or age ended, though he is one of the founding members of romantic movement in literature. Anyway, William Wordsworth, who came from the Lake District and was leading poet of the group, whose work was especially associated with the centrality of the self and love of nature. Samuel Taylor Coleridge is another first period romantic. He was born in 1772, just 2 years after of William Wordsworth and 4 years back of United States independent, and he died in 1834. Just after the 4 years of romantic literature or romantic periods end. Was Wordsworth closest colleague and collaborator, a powerful intellectual whose work was often influenced by contemporary ideas about science and philosophy. Robert Southey, a prolific writer of poetry and prose who settled in the Lake District and became poet laureate in 1813. His work was later mocked by Byron. Byron means here Lord Byron. Charles Lamb was a poet but is best known for his essays and literary criticism. A Londoner, he was especially close to Coleridge. He is also considered as the first phase's romantics. Thomas G. Quincy, the youngest member of the group, best known as the essayist and the critic, the literary criticism, who wrote a series of memoirs of late poets. The second generation of romantic poets. Who are the second generation of romantics or romantic poets? In second period, we can consider George Gordon, Lord Byron, Percy Bysshe Shelley, and John Keats. They are considered the second generation romantics. So, in the fourth phase, we have discussed who have contributed to start the Romantic movement in literature and how they have accommodated their surroundings such and such way. In the next phase, directly we'll go through a poem of William Wordsworth and we'll analyze it critically and we'll try to find out the romantic literature's features in his poem, his stylistic features, writing style. At the same time, why we will try to identify why the romantic poems or the poems of William Wordsworth are equally important nowadays. So until then, keep well everyone. Thank you. Allah Hafiz.